Informative, educational, objective, inclusive, comprehensive. This is Progress Report. Updates and conversations from the Government Information Service.
Good day and welcome to another episode of Progress Report. Updates and conversations from the Government Information Service. My name is Ivan Khanna, my co-host Gleneva Hodge, and today we have with us the lovely Miss Chanel Petty Barrett. Pronounced that totally correct. She's the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Economic Development, Investment, Commerce,
Information Technology, and Natural Resources.
Thank you so much, because I couldn't do that on my own. I'm not even going to go with the acronym. That's what it is right there.
Yes.
A very, very, very big ministry, a very important ministry. Some point we'll have you back to talk about some things coming out of your ministry some point soon.
No problem.
We'd love to have you back to talk about the consumer protection legislation, the price gouging legislation. I know those things come from your ministry.
Yes.
But it's all about Angular Day.
Okay,
It's all
great.
about Angular Day today. Our celebrations, 55 years strong. That's a lot to celebrate. And you serve as the chair of the Angular Celebrations Committee. Did I get that
the
correct?
Anguilla National Celebrations Committee.
Angular National Celebrations Committee. You're right, because Carnival is summer festival is a celebration,
Yes, it
and then we
is.
don't want to be confused. So it's the National Celebrations Committee.
Correct.
That's very big. That's very big, Gleneva. So
Yes,
you
it
tell
is.
me.
Yes, it is, Ivan. It's good to be back.
That's
happy
true.
to happy to be back.
Happy to be back. I didn't say that. Thank you.
And in with a new episode, and we welcome Mrs. Petty Barrett
Thank
to
you for having me.
Progress Report.
Right.
So the Anguilla National Celebrations Committee. Tell us a little bit about that. Tell us about the composition of this committee, and I know you're the chair of this.
Yes. So the Anguilla National Celebrations Committee, it operates with the Premier's office as the base, because the Premier's office is responsible for national celebrations and protocol, etc. However, interestingly, it was assigned to me as part of my portfolio. And it's a portfolio that I would have carried before when I was in the Ministry of Home Affairs, so I'm pretty familiar with it. But it's a wide-ranging committee. There are members who have been on for several years, and there are new members as well who have joined us over the years. So it consists of persons from the Premier's office and the Ministry of Economic Development, as well as representatives from the tourism sector, from social development, from labor, from the Christian Council and Evangelical Association. We also have representatives from the Department of Information Broadcasting. They represent the media as well. And there are a couple of other persons who are not coming to mind now, but they are there.
Okay.
And we all work together. Education is one as well as the Royal Anguilla Police Force.
Okay, I have to put a plug here.
Yes.
Because this setting actually gives folks a bit of insight into what's going on.
Yes.
So it's important to know, you listed a number of agencies, departments.
Yes.
This is a very big committee.
It is, actually.
So when something comes out, it's not three people in a room
No.
deciding that we're doing this or we're doing that.
No,
And-
it really is wide-ranging. Youth and culture, they are also
See, she's
represented.
adding more.
I keep remembering as I go along. So youth and
Sounds
culture,
like the UN.
so they're also part of it. So yeah, and we really have a really good rapport. That don't always agree, obviously, because that happens. But at the end of the day, once we make our decisions, we just move ahead. As I
Okay.
said.
And obviously you being there for a while, and then you have host of talents and expertise, there is continuity there.
Yes.
Is what you're saying.
Yes.
And the youth are represented.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's excellent.
Yes.
It
So
is.
you guys would have been responsible for this calendar of events
Yes.
for the 55th.
55th is an
Anniversary.
Emerald Jubilee.
Emerald, yes.
Emerald.
And I know
Jubilee.
every year there's a theme.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little about what the theme is for this year? How do you go about choosing the theme?
Okay, great. So normally we do a little ad. We do a competition.
Okay.
We let persons submit themes, and then we have a subcommittee of the larger committee review the themes and choose a winner. And this year we're happy that our winner was a teenager, Miss Kajia Bryan. She won the theme, Standing Proudly, 55 years later, United We Make Anguilla Greater. We had several submissions, and we thought that her submission really encapsulates the message that we want to send, one of
Right.
unity.
Right.
So we're quite pleased with that.
I'm pleased with that.
I
Yeah.
like
I
it.
didn't have a
I
vote.
definitely like that.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
I mean, that might rank right up there with Dollar In, Dollar In, you know? in terms of the lyrics.
I thought I was hoping that we
No,
could leave that one off the table
I'm
today.
going to put that down every episode. Dollar In, Dollar In. I'm going to put that one down. But that's a great team.
Now that we're speaking about dollars, not dollaring, I know that there are a number of activities that are happening on the calendar. What are some of these activities? Let the people know what are some of these activities, and
Are they free?
is there a price attached so that we can tell if our dollars are dollaring?
Exactly.
Well, coming up on Thursday evening at 7:30 at the Mount Fortune Seventh-day Adventist Church, we're going to have our Gospel Explosion.
Okay.
Usually we would have a choir fest, but we recognize that various organizations have had challenges meeting during COVID.
True.
So we had to change that a bit. So this time it's going to be more of a variety in terms of, yes, choirs are going to participate, but we're also going to have some solo acts. We're going to also include poetry and dance and
So you
and
know you
stuff
sing,
like that.
right?
No, I didn't know
I
that.
used to, at least.
I thought that you would. Anyway, let
My
me-
daughter and my son. Yeah. So where did you think they get it from?
Not you.
All right.
Being honest.
It's okay.
Yes,
But I know
so-
Lennox Vanderpool would back me up that I had a little bit of.
You dabbled.
I was okay.
Most people are okay.
Listen,
Not me.
I was a soloist.
Most people, really?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
I was a soloist. There's some
Alright.
proof out there, and I won't try that ever again. But I was a soloist.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a variety of acts on that evening. There's no admission fee,
Perfect.
but a love offering is accepted. So if persons feel so moved to give, that would be accepted. And usually we would give that money to the church,
Oh, nice.
the host church. Yeah, so for their allowing us to use the facilities as a sign of our gratitude.
Excellent.
Right, so we're really looking forward to that. It starts at 7:30. I think I said that.
Yeah.
And up to 12 o'clock today, I think we had about 17 items on the program.
Nice.
So I think it should be good.
Will the National Choir be making an appearance?
The National Youth Choir will be making
Okay.
an appearance at that event. And there's some instrumentalists from the National Choir as well. They'll be rendering an item. Yeah.
National Youth Choir, of which I will be represented through my lineage.
Because I was about to say, I don't know how many persons have had the opportunity to hear the National Choir. I personally have not heard the National Youth Choir, and I'm certain that they are just as good as the National Choir. But when that National Choir performs,
They're good.
we can hand out the love offering at that time because you are so moved
Yes.
during their performances,
Yes.
and it's not a rendition when
Yes.
they are there. It is a performance. I absolutely
Yes.
love it.
Yes.
And
And a lot of work goes into it, and we have to give credit to Miss Hazel.
Yes,
for the work
definitely.
that she really puts into the national choir.
And you can tell, you can
She
feel
loves
it.
it.
You can
She
see.
loves it. She has
I-
always
honestly,
loved
you can
music.
see it in her
Honestly,
when
I
she is
think
there.
she loves it.
She's
a
actually a
little
part
too
of the
much.
committee too. I forgot.
See, I think she loves it a little too much, and I can say what I want openly about my past economics teacher, but she loves it a bit too much. I think so. If I can say so myself. When she's
don't
gonna
think
be
that's
sending me
possible.
notes
No.
that, like, but you don't have to be this place, that time. They have to. It's like she's on the ball with
Yes,
this
Well,
stuff,
yes.
and I'm like, yeah,
But
you go for them.
But you don't get to be so great
Just by-
without
yeah.
Yes.
by mediocrity, and so
Exactly.
we definitely appreciate it.
Yes,
I
we're trying to take
appreciate
it to a
it
next
every
level.
time.
Yeah.
And you touched on something there, and is something that I'm happy that we kind of like segue in without even knowing that we got there. But the level of excellence that is expected for these events.
Yes.
When you know that the National Choir or the National Youth Choir is going to give a rendition, they've been practicing weeks upon weeks to come. Then I remember growing up, you'd see the police marching and doing their stuff and getting ready, and
Yes.
armed bodies,
Yes.
uniform bodies,
Yes.
and those type of
course.
things.
Yes.
And you never really pay attention to the impact those things have even on the children that are in these
Yes.
groups, the cadet corps, the
Yes.
pathfinders and stuff.
Girls
It
Brigade,
gives the Girls
like,
Brigade, the Brownies,
yes,
like those things chart you on a course, and you see the benefits of it
Yes.
later in life.
Yes.
So I personally would want to see more of those things. I don't think we should wait necessarily for Angular Day.
And not to kind of jump the gun, because we haven't gotten through all
The
of
calendar, right.
all of the activities, and I know the Grand Angular Day Parade
Yes.
is one of those activities, and if I harken back to my childhood, I spent every Angular Day on the park
Nice.
as a Girl Guide.
Yes.
You know, started at Brownies and
Yes.
you walked your way up to
Yes.
Guides, and we did it twice a year. At that time, we did it for both Angular Day and the Queen's
Celebration.
birthday. And then at one point, I think we did it just a little bit for James Ronald Webster Day. I think we may have had one or two
Okay.
of those.
Did we do anything for Separation Day? Or that's a totally...
That's a different vibe, Ivan.
Okay, just making sure.
That's a different
So
vibe.
you gotta understand, like I have a phobia of the sun. So I wasn't one that would come out and do those things if there wasn't like a car for me to
Yeah.
get in. Yeah, I
But it's really about instilling a sense of pride and discipline.
Yes.
Yeah.
In a young person.
Yeah, but there
You know?
are several activities throughout the year where I know during the anniversary, cadets anniversary, they tend to do a drill display and they invite a number of those uniform bodies to come in, and so there are a number of opportunities for outlets for that to happen.
Okay.
So we've touched on the gospel explosion. We've touched a little bit on the Angular Day Parade. And we'll come back to that, I'm sure. What else is going on?
Okay. So on Friday, we have the school's celebration parade.
Okay.
Now, we had one of these for the 50th anniversary. And it was so good that we thought that for another major anniversary, we'll have it again. So for the 55th, we decided that we're going to put on the event again, the school celebration parade. And the theme of the parade is going to be then and now. And different schools are going to be portraying different things.
Okay.
Dressed in costume, etc. So it's going to bring out the creativity in the children and really showcase.
I wonder if that's why I
their
saw
own.
them going into the schools with all kind of stuff today.
That is possible.
that is why,
That is
Ivan.
possible.
That is why.
These children are always up to something, you know?
They've really been preparing and we're really excited about it. It's going to start at Aurelia Kelly Primary. That is the point of departure. And they're going to be schools joining along the way because they're trying to avoid everybody congregating at the same time, right?
Okay,
In the
nice.
same place.
COVID.
So it starts around 9 o'clock, Aurelia
Okay.
Kelly, goes down the Queen Elizabeth Highway onto the Carteret Boulevard. It's going to turn east at NCBA.
Okay.
And at the end of St. Mary's Street, it's going to turn south towards
ABC.
It's going to go down ABC Road, turn west on ABC Road, And then when it comes to the Catholic Church, we're going to come back north. I prefer to use those directions than left or right. It turns north and it goes straight back to the Aurelia Kelly Primary School.
Oh, that's a long route.
Yes.
And the children gonna be dressed in
Different costumes, etc., depending on what they're depicting.
lots of water on this road.
Oh, lots of water is being
See
provided.
my son phobia thing.
Lots of
Yes.
water is going to be provided. They're going to have music accompanying each school, etc. So it's important. I think it's really great. I would encourage in persons to please come out and support the children.
Let me put a point right there for
put
that.
a lot of effort into it.
Line the streets tomorrow and don't drive
Friday.
Friday.
But then it would be
Friday.
because this will be aired. This will be aired
Yes.
tomorrow. So yes.
Line the streets line the streets on Friday
Yes.
and don't drive between Aurelia Kelly and Carteret Boulevard between 9 and 10:30.
Yeah.
How
yeah.
fast the children are walking,
Yes.
think? They're gonna walk?
Well, I would think that will take about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Yeah.
So between
It'll take a
nine between
while.
9 and between
Between
9 and
9 and
12,
Yeah.
anticipate some additional
Yes.
traffic, and rather than being stuck in traffic, if you have some time,
And you know what I want to see?
step out of your vehicle.
Step
and
out
come
your
and see.
vehicle,
Yes.
step out your business
Yes.
places, take some pictures, hashtag Anguilla,
Yes.
hashtag 55, hashtag greater,
Yes.
hashtag
Together.
together, hashtag unity. Let's fill
Yes.
social media with a lot of positive energy. Let's
Yes.
celebrate our
Exactly.
children. Let's celebrate our island, our history, our culture. Everything is going to be on display from what I'm hearing from you.
Yes, it's going to be wonderful.
All right.
Our preschoolers are going to be joining us by the Catholic Church. So I think if persons want to see the full parade in terms of every single participating school, it's best to be between the area from the Catholic Church to NCBA. Then you'll see everybody just passing.
Can't go call it secret. This is the one show we didn't have to add to a secret. She just giving all the secrets. You're taking away the lines.
I am appreciative of the
Oh,
secrets
that's why you're not
because
saying nothing.
not a word.
Okay.
So I'm probably going to be parked up somewhere along by the post office side
That's a great
and
place to be.
really cheering on. So you say we have the preschoolers, so we can expect our preschoolers.
Primary schoolers, high school, everybody.
Love it.
Everybody's gonna be there.
This is probably going to be greater than.
Would
the
it be
parade
carried
trip.
live?
Yes.
I don't think they should.
They
Let them come out and line the streets.
Yeah, but what happens to
Yeah.
persons who
Persons
have to
still want to-
walk
yeah,
and
they want to see.
Then they see
persons
the
over
pictures.
Yeah.
persons
We
overseas.
hear it.
So it's going to be great. We're really
Yeah,
looking forward
just
to
kidding,
it.
man. Carry it line.
Yes.
That's good. That's really good. So we have
I'm excited to see that.
Yes.
Children's Parade on Friday, Gospel Explosion on Thursday. What's happening on Saturday?
Nothing is on Saturday, but on Sunday we have the ecumenical service, Sunday
Okay.
29th May.
So let me ask you a question. What does that word even mean?
It's really about a gathering of denominations, various denominations.
So we couldn't say that. That rolls off the tongue so much different than trying to say ecumenical.
See, there you did it.
I can say it, but I just feel really as a student, like, want to pull my stethoscope when I say ecumenical. Like, pass me the ecumenical. I'm just
so-
saying. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm done.
It's a collaboration between the Christian Council and the Evangelical Association. So it's going to be held at the Church of God Holiness, Pope Hill, at
Okay.
3 o'clock. We're asking people to please be seated by 2:45 because we're going to, the choirs are going to start processing in at 2:50 p.m.
Oh, nice.
We're going to have
I love it.
all the Anguilla National Choir, the youth choir, children's choir.
Yes.
All going to be present. We've also invited representatives from youth organizations, so the cadets, the brigades, the guides, the youth parliaments,
Everybody.
youth. Gosh, not the youth.
Youth
council.
Youth
Oh my goodness, how could I forget the
See,
youth?
I hear a youth parliament, youth council, but I hear the ambassador call, but I can just rest that one down.
Yes. And then we have representatives from schools. They're going to be present as well. And of course, the general public is invited to attend. Yeah?
Nice. So all this is happening,
Yes.
and I'm not being a devil's advocate. 'Cause I don't talk to the dude. I don't talk. But what protocols are in place? COVID is still around,
Yes.
should people know to wear masks? Should people know? Would there be extra sanitization? Just to let folks know that these things will be practiced and they're free to come and enjoy themselves.
Well, the government doesn't have a mask mandate in place
Okay.
currently, so people are free to come, whatever you're comfortable with.
Okay.
We encourage people to do that. You know, if you want to wear your mask, not a problem, but we're not going to insist that persons wear a mask because there's no current mandate in place.
Kind of would be difficult for all this singing as well.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
ecumenical service on Sunday.
On Sunday.
Monday.
We really want I have to put a plug for the ecumenical service because the revolutionaries always had Christ at the center.
Of course.
And I don't think the celebration would be complete without us giving, that thanksgiving and praise. So
I agree
really
with
want
you.
to encourage persons to come out to the ecumenical service. A lot of effort has gone into it.
Yeah.
And we really want it to be a time of upliftment.
We got a
for
lot
our
to be
nation.
thankful for, if I'm
Exactly.
being honest.
Exactly.
Now
A
we
lot
come
of
out
times
of, we
don't
come
think
out
about
of,
that.
we come out of COVID.
Yes.
And speaking of COVID, I don't mean to cut you off, Ivan, but comparing this year, and yes, I know that we are celebrating our major anniversary.
Emerald.
Emerald
Can I say
anniversary. There you
Emerald.
go. Comparing this year to last year when we had COVID, were the activities scaled back last year? Because if I remember correctly, there was no
Yes.
Angular Day parade, right?
No, they were
Right.
scaled back significantly. The only thing that we held last year was the ceremony,
Okay.
the Angular Day ceremony, where we would have had the speeches and the awards given to the honorees.
And
Yes.
I've seen and have the pictures. It was kind of not what I wanted to see. People in masks couldn't even make out who it was.
Right.
So I'm happy that you can have some beautiful pictures.
Right,
this
and
year.
so
Smiles.
I
Yes.
anticipate that we are coming back this year,
Yes,
bigger,
bigger.
better, stronger, together.
Yes,
Greater.
exactly.
Together.
All right.
Exactly.
That's good.
Yes.
So on Monday now, we're
Yes.
at parade day
Yes,
now.
we are.
And but we add boat race as well.
Yes.
So how you balance that?
Oh, that's a difficult balance, and a lot of people are often conflicted.
Ah.
Should I come to the parade, or should I go to the boat race?
What does your heart say?
My heart said I want to be at both places, and my heart tells me that I should not have to choose.
So is there ever gonna be a time where we don't have to choose? Like the parade starts at 7:45.
Yes.
How long does it run?
Usually it runs for about an hour and 3/4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's round it off 2 hours.
Yeah.
9:45. Boat
So-
race starts when?
At 10
10.
o'clock.
Impossible.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a little tough.
It
It
is.
is.
It's one thing if you're just going to be following the boat race on land, and a
Yes.
lot of people. Don't get me wrong. Quite a number of persons
Do that.
do that.
Yeah.
You get in your vehicle, you put your lunch, you put your coolers, and you follow the boat race. And people tell you the diehards, they are on land. You know them
Yes.
at every stop. They're shouting hardly and everything else. And yes,
Yes.
I am just calling boat race terms that I don't know. But for persons who then want to go into the more party celebration mode, you tend to get a lot of them going out on boats.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
And if you're going to-
everybody
and
has
if-
a boat ride.
And if you're going to be out on a boat, it
Then you
is
have to
almost impossible to leave from parade, get to wherever you are, change your clothes, and be able to be on board before these boats
Yes.
leave. And so
Right.
it is difficult for
Yeah.
persons who
It is.
want to
Yeah.
be
It
in.
is. It is.
So here's a thought. No, for me, I don't revoke my Anguilla card. But
I
up
know
until
you're
about
not about to say what I think you're going to say.
Up until I would say 2016, 2017, I hated boat race.
Okay. I think I'm about to leave.
And I would
Here's
not
why.
give you wrong.
No.
We're going to leave Ivan here by himself.
No,
Speaking about
but I'll
boat
tell you why, and I'm going to get to why I'm concerned. Ask any young person under the age of 20 if they like boat race. Boat race, right now we're losing what boat race is and what boat race teaches. You know when I fell in love with boat race? When I saw a boat race start. if you've never seen a boat race start, you don't love boat race. If you've never seen a boat race start, you don't love boat race. Here's why I'm going to say that. Because that embodies everything that Angola is about. When you see those guys start to draw on that sail, pull that shit, and in unity, them jumping on the boat, and they setting off, and they charting course, that's our story. And I didn't see that before. When I saw that, I was in awe. Like, you don't want to miss a boat race after you've seen that the finish is nice. But the coming together to get it going, which what I think is our history and our story when you look at it. And our children don't see that. They're going to say, but the boat don't have no engine. I mean, I'm not putting a plug for any boat, right? I'm not putting a plug for any boat. And I know this is going to be big talk right now because they feel like I don't support the UFO and all kind of things. I don't. But that's a different story. But
I'm from the East.
but I swear.
As long as you don't touch the light and peace, be good, eh?
No, listen, the light and peace ain't even in this conversation. But I saw the Sonic, and I'm not bragging about the boat.
I know you're a Johnny come
No,
lately.
I don't. No, call me what you want, right? But I could swear when the Sonic took off, it had an engine.
I tell you.
It threw sand the ground, cut water down, and like it was exciting for me. And I don't back the Sonic. Trust me, I don't back the Sonic. I don't back Light and Peace, the Tree. I don't even know the names. I just know that it's Sonic Fast because that's what I saw. And now I can get involved in the conversation. But there's so much that go into it. These boats are built by hand. Like, who's sharing the history of these things? You understand? And that's what they want to see passed on for generations to come. So how can we get to the point? All I have to say, how can we get to the point where you don't miss the pomp and circumstance and the pride that's instilled by seeing the uniform bodies on parade and understand the story there and seeing our people honored, but still get that excitement that embodies our culture and our history, which is boat racing. That's what it is. How do we ensure? Can we start at 11 o'clock? But then they're going around the island. If the wind bad, they're going to finish till 6.
I think that is a bit. I think you've touched exactly on what the challenge is, or what the boat racers say to us in relation to the time at which they start.
Right.
Because getting to start at 10 was a negotiation to start it.
I can only imagine. Wow.
Was a negotiation to really get them to start at that time because, as you said, they have a long journey.
Yeah. I mean, the Sonic will finish in 3 hours, but...
Come on.
They roll their eyes. I wish they listened. That was just a spread to catch away. They roll their eyes. This boat race thing is serious.
But it is. And one of the things that you've brought up is how do we ensure and instill that love of boat racing, the continuity.
Yes.
I think it starts young. And I say this because when my first son, I can't remember how old he was, but I sent him to the youth sailing school in Sandy Ground. Yeah. And since then, he just loves boats.
Nice.
He just loves, over the years, he has maintained his love for boats. He still loves boat racing. As a career, he's looking into something related to boats.
Nice.
But, I think it starts from just exposure
Right.
at a young age to sailing and whatever, and just get them interested.
Can we get more of them into it?
Yeah, I mean, not just sailing the boat,
The
building.
yeah.
And I can tell you, as someone who grew up in a house with a boat racer,
Like in peace?
Of course,
Oh,
Ivan, of
sorry.
course. But my dad, I remember August was, you don't see him because it's going out, racing boats, coming back in. And so I grew up around boat racing and boats and that sort of stuff. But I know it's a passion of love when they go out there. The boat builders, they're not getting that money back. They're not seeing
It costs a lot.
the cost. When you hear about, again, I just call them water idols here, but the jib and all of this, and when somebody jib break and whatever happens out there,
it's a significant cost for them. Yeah.
When they sink them and they have to
It's
fall.
really a love for the sport.
It is.
It's but for me, and I can't go back to I never felt so much pride. I never felt so much energy and excitement about the sport until I saw it start. and it's important to even if you can't be there to capture that somehow, because a lot of what I see is the boats underwater and racing, but rest assured, I saw something on Facebook. They were spraying off the tree. They were down there with the sail and stuff. They were getting ready. This is weeks and days out.
Of course. Oh, yes.
You know,
yes.
they're getting their weights and their balance and they're balancing and they're doing everything that they have to do. So in the things that we want to see in the young people, and we keep going back here, but the commitment and thing that you spoke about earlier, it's in boat racing as well. You know, maybe we might need to bring somebody here to talk about boat racing, but you have to bring all of them because you can't bring one.
Oh, you better believe it.
And then if you bring all of them, we're run out of time.
I have an idea as to how we're gonna do this without getting in trouble.
Okay, how are we going to do this? You want to tell me after?
I'll tell you. Because Ivan, we always running out of time.
You're right, I can keep quiet. I'm done.
So we've touched on boat racing, we've touched on parade, and so we have parade starting at what time? On
7:45. That is when the officials start to roll in. The commissioner of police, the premier, the governor. Premier will take his salute. He'll inspect the uniform organizations, and we go straight into the ceremony. This year we're going to have a different chairperson. Usually a permanent secretary traditionally has chaired, but this time we're letting somebody else chair.
Any hints? She's holding something.
You'll see when the day comes. And we're really happy because we're trying to be as inclusive as possible in terms of persons participating in the parade. This year we've done something interesting in that usually, Miss Anguilla helps to present the awards. And we've had Miss Mussington helping to present for the last 2 years. So this year we thought of doing something different. And this year we're going to have Miss Anguilla 1975 assisting with the presentation.
And who might that person be?
Well, you're going to come and see.
She really mean
So
to come
we're including that person. And then we
there's
have...
lots of shade, Ivan. You're not going to be in the sun. There's lots of shade.
We have... students from the Aurelia Kelly Primary School. They're the choral speaking champions.
Okay, nice.
So they're going to be doing a choral speaking piece, choral presentation. We also have persons from Monday Mix and Beyond. They're going to be playing the
What's
steel
that?
pan, Monday Mix and Beyond, the steel pan.
Okay.
So we have that group as well. So we have primary schoolers, secondary schoolers, little preschoolers going to be taking part as well. The whole age range.
Okay.
So
Very,
we're trying
very
to,
inclusive.
Yeah, so
Very
we're
nice.
trying to make sure that all age groups are represented.
I can ask you one more
In
question, being the advocate that I am. The advocate for advancement that I am. We capturing all of this, and then later we're putting it on the TV. Do we sell 55 years stronger together in unity DVDs after the fact? Do we put this in the schools?
Well, this
Is
sounds
this gonna be
like
part of
something
our
that we need to
curriculum?
hand over to you.
No,
Then
you
Ivan.
It sounds like that committee needs to grow just a little bit more.
Time out. Wipe the tape and retract all that.
No, this is unedited conversations.
You're right, that's the problem. Don't hold me, don't hold me. That my phone does get me in trouble.
But it's going to be.
I was supposed to be keeping quiet. I'm not saying another word. I promise you, you're going to have to close the show. I'm not saying another word after this.
Yeah, right, Ivan. We've been doing this long enough. I know better.
And we're really pleased to have our honorees as well. We have our 4 honorees this year. Nurse Nanton, Nurse McCarthy, Nurse Nanton. We have Nurse Joan Carty as well. And we have Shara Proctor and Zarnell Hughes. And again, really diverse group. And we're really happy and congratulate all of them on the awards.
I think well deserved to all of the honorees.
Yes.
Go ahead, Ivan. Go ahead.
I would like to acknowledge that I raised my hand to access. I just want to say congratulations. I have to say congratulations to the honorees, and then I'll be done.
Okay, great.
I won't speak
Congrats, everybody.
Yes. And so, any other activities that we should know about?
Well, we are also, this isn't on the calendar, but just so that persons are aware, because persons have asked about our usual senior citizens lunch.
Okay.
And senior citizens at the residential care centers, they will be provided with lunch for Anguilla Day. The lunch will be delivered to them at the care facilities. So it's going to be just for them. Yeah.
Awesome.
We don't think in these times that it's a good idea to bring our seniors out, so we're going to provide for them where they are.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I
So-
think I saw one more activity, the cycling.
Cycle race, yes. So that is going to be on the 5th of June. Sunday the 5th of June. The Anguilla Cycling Association is in charge of that activity. So look out for the information from them. Yeah, they should be publishing something soon.
Great. So
Yeah.
yes, Ivan. So this has been very informative. We know that we have a packed weekend ahead of us. Ivan is just nodding with me. We have a packed weekend ahead of us. We're gonna go out to the Gospel Explosion on Thursday.
Yes.
We have
Schools parade.
the schools parade. How could I forget the
Friday.
schools parade on Friday?
Friday.
We are lining up by the post office, Ivan, in the shade, and we're going to be watching. And before I continue, because Ivan is just here giving me the nods, all of these activities, are they going to all be live streamed if
Yes.
persons can't attend?
Yes.
And where will they be live streamed?
So on the Government of Anguilla Facebook page, for all of them. Additionally, the Department of Education Facebook page for the schools parade in Anguilla will also be carrying them. And I'm sure there are lots of other persons who are going to be on site carrying them.
So
live as
even if
well.
you can't come out, you
Yes.
can't miss it. That
Yes.
means that my Facebook timeline
Yes.
is going to be flooded. It is going to be a weekend of national pride,
Exactly.
of celebrating where we are and how far we've come.
Yes.
And I look forward
And a
to
time
it.
of unity. I think we've just come out of a by-election. Let's forget about that.
I completely
It's
agree.
really about unity.
I look forward to. There's something about Anguilla Day, and even if persons do not feel it throughout the year, there is just something in the air around Anguilla Day when there is just immense pride to be an Anguillian.
Yeah. And they should be.
And I
They
cannot
should be.
stress that enough. You know, Ivan will speak to this a little bit more, but you know, I recently heard a rendition of the national song. And I said to Ivan, when I heard it, I said, I don't know about others, but when I hear the national song, I have to fight back tears. You just swell with pride.
Pride. Yes.
And hearing that particular rendition, it was, for lack of a better word, electrifying.
Yes.
It. Okay, Ivan.
What are we gonna do here?
But it was, and so we look forward to a safe and peaceful, unity-filled celebration of our 55 years.
I have to speak.
Yeah,
No, you said something there that has really brought it home. We're gonna have the Commissioner of Police on pretty soon, but you said a safe,
Definitely.
and peaceful and unity-filled weekend of celebration. Take your time on the road, folks. You know, don't drink and drive. We know it's partying. Listen, park it up, sleep it off.
Have a designated driver.
Have a designated driver. Do the responsible thing.
Yes.
There's nothing to be fighting and warring about. We have 16, it's 35 square miles. It's 16 wide, right?
Yes.
16 long.
16
long,
long.
3 wide.
Man, Miss Asford is gonna kill me. My social
We
studies
are
and
going to
geography.
have a different
It's-
conversation.
Yeah, we
after
have
this.
to because
This is 2 shows in a row.
2 in a row. Man, what's wrong? But I'm saying all of that to say, you know, let's be our brother's keeper. Let's put a lot of this stuff
Yes.
behind us. I want for folks to go out and our children to experience these events and nobody to be there tense and concerned about what could
Yes,
possibly pop off.
yes.
That's not Anguilla,
No,
if
it's
you're
not.
being
No,
honest.
It's not. That's
And
not us.
I had to come off of mute to say that because you touched on it, and
Yeah.
that's something that's very close to my heart. I know you're passionate about it, Gleneva, and I know you're probably waiting for us to have the commissioner to talk about these things, but this weekend is important. Let's
It is.
not
Yeah.
It is.
mar it with
Let-
anything.
Exactly.
Let us show the world who we are as Anguillians and to come out. And again, it's why I like the theme so much. Because it stresses the importance of unity. Because
Unity.
as a very small country,
Yeah.
it's only a handful of us. And ultimately, if we're going to get anywhere, if we're going to do anything, the only way that we can do so is together.
It's together.
That is
It's
true.
together.
That is true.
So, thank
Yeah.
you so much for being here with
You're
us, Mrs.
welcome.
Petty Barrett.
Thank
We
you so
have
much for being
enjoyed
here.
this conversation. When we started, I actually thought that we were going to keep to time, but we never do. So I'm sorry
At
you
this
did not
point-
win the prize.
At this point, I've totally given up. Our producer Carmen, he just shakes his head and laughs every time we come to tape. Yeah, no, that's not
Yes,
gonna happen.
but-
It's my fault though because I talk a lot, right?
Yeah, it is your fault actually.
Yes.
I just see how you bait them in. I'm outnumbered again, and you see how you bait them in. Okay, gotcha.
So, from us here at Progress Report, thank you for tuning in and happy Anguilla Day.
Happy
when it
Anguilla
comes.
Day.
Happy Anguilla Day all. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thanks.